first time that I visited the west coast of Scotland was also the first time that I got to see the Atlantic puffin on land and up close. It was a dream come true for me, as puffins are one of my favourite birds. At this point in time, I was still in the early stages of my wildlife photography. I remember feeling overwhelmed with what was in front of me, but also excited, and I took so many pictures of everything and anything that I saw within the frame. I was happy with some of the images I took at that time, but looking back on them now, I can tell that I didn't have a clear vision of what I wanted to capture. Since then, I have continued to develop my skills in wildlife photography and have become more mindful of what style of images I want to take. So this year, I decided it was time to go back to this part of the British Isles and spend time with these wonderful birds once again. I hope that you enjoy. Back in the middle of May of this year, my husband and I made the long 7 to 8 hour drive through England up to the west coast of Scotland, where we were to take a ferry across to an island that is part of the Inner Hebrides. So we've not long arrived at Tobermory. So we've not long arrived at Oban. We've got a few hours to wait until we board the ferry, which will take us over to the Isle of Mull. Most of you have already know that I have made quite a few trips to the Isle of Mull for its wildlife, and I very much see it as my second home. And after a 40-minute ferry ride, we finally arrived on the Isle of Mull. We've not long arrived at Tobermory. The town is just down there. We are both very tired. We've been on the road since 5 o'clock this morning, so we're going to spend this evening and pretty much all of tomorrow relaxing and exploring a bit of the town. We have always stayed in or close to the harbour town of Tobermory, with its array of colourful buildings, great local food and the scenery surrounding it, which is simply beautiful. Whenever I wasn't searching for wildlife, I found myself exploring the local woodlands and rocky coastline, and at this time of year I was taking in all the signs of spring, which I wasn't able to see on previous visits. The day finally came where we boarded a tour boat that would take us to the Treshnish Isles. Despite having a slightly strong breeze, the weather was looking great once we got out on the water. Our first stop on the way to the Treshnish Isles was to the Isle of Staffa and the world-renowned Fingal's Cave. It is an amazing natural structure with its towering hexagonal columns of basalt created by ancient lava flows, and a miniature causeway and deep cave, both of which can be accessed at low tide. After the short stop at Fingal's Cave, we finally arrived to the Isle of Lunga, and the scenes that I have witnessed 7 years ago reoccurred once more. So we've been on the Isle of Lunga for coming up to 2 hours now, and as you can tell there is a lot of puffins around. They're all coming in this time of year to find their nests and lay one egg, which they lay one egg a year, which will then turn into a puffling, and then eventually once it's old enough it will fly off, basically dive off the cliff, ready to start life at sea.
Before arriving, I had already thought about 3 particular images that I wanted to take. These were puffins socialising, blurred foreground and background, and hardest one of them all, puffins in flight. I found a spot where I positioned myself a reasonable distance from the puffins so I wasn't to disturb their underground burrows, and I began by taking a few images to familiarise myself with the puffins and the surrounding landscape. The sun was very bright that day, but although it brought up the issues of overexposing the birds, the ocean in the background was a brilliant blue most of the time. I then moved on to getting shots where more grass was visible in the foreground, and I particularly love how these images turned out. As the breeding season approaches, the puffins will pair up or reaffirm their relationship from spending months at sea. They do this by billing, where they rub their beaks together frantically. This display can often draw other puffins around to share the excitement of pairs reuniting once again. I was eager to capture these moments as my socialising shots. I was quite put off from doing the in-flight shots at first, as the puffins coming off the sea came by at great speed. However, there was a moment where the winds picked up, bringing rain with it, and this meant some of the puffins flying in were caught in an updraft from the edge of the cliff face. So I grasped this opportunity and ended up capturing some in-flight shots that I am very happy with.
It's been an absolutely wonderful time, and pretty confident that I've got a lot of good pictures out of it. Hope you enjoy looking at the videos and footage for this clip, and yes, what a wonderful time to be with my puffins.
I really enjoyed my time with the puffins, and although I still took a lot of pictures, I am thrilled to have come away with the images that I set out to capture. If I had to choose 3 favourites, it would be these ones, but you can let me know which images were your favourites in the comments below. I will be sharing these images on my website very soon, as well as the opportunity to purchase prints and other products from my Etsy shop. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again soon.